Peace, this is Jarrell with Quantum Like Consciousness. Today we're going to talk about how to connect with your spirit guides. Alright, so this is a question I keep getting asked over and over again, basically talking about how can I quiet my mind and hear my higher self. How can I quiet my mind, hear my spirit guides, hear my team in spirit, hear my angels, and it can be easy, okay? Or you can make it very hard for yourself. Alright, so the way I like to do it, well, firstly, there are different levels of inner dialogues going on in your human mind-body system. There's a lot of people out there who will say, oh, if you hear voices, that means you're bipolar. It's because you're schizophrenic. Oh, it's because you need to go to a mental hospital. Prior to contrary belief, there's more functioning schizophrenics and bipolar individuals out there than you would likely think. One of them probably being people who you are very close to, who probably don't even know that they are that, because there are a number of qualities that you wouldn't think would qualify for an individual to be labeled that. Basically, if you've ever been triggered, that literally qualifies you to be bipolar, because 1 second you're fine, next second you got all these racing thoughts going through your head, giving you all these crazy, nonsensical, negative, intense energies with these thoughts that you do not want, right? So pretty much I'm going to go ahead and say that everybody in the entire collective right now, during this rising age of ascension, during this age of Aquarius, has a little bit of bipolar tendencies to them, okay? So to get that out of the way, yes, it's safe to actually contact your spirit guides and actually speak to yourself on an inner space, okay? And you have multiple levels of inner dialogues going on within you. All right, so the way I see it, for me, is I have about three. I have primarily I have my I Am Presence God Self. That's basically me, my center core, like me as my spirit, as my creator version. Then I have my intuition, which is me, basically broadcasting through my throat chakra. And then I have my higher self, which is basically me, an embodied future version of me, stepping in and giving me advice, either from the left side or from the right side. All right, starting off, you want to go with the left side, and beginning, when you want to contact your guides, they're going to sound like your voice. Every voice is going to sound like your voice. So it's kind of going to get into that place where it's like, oh, am I just talking to myself? Or am I actually bringing in a new intelligence that's going to actually give me information and get me the right guidance and level of frequency that I need, to actually supplement my healing, my spiritual growth, so you can progress on your path. Okay, so when you begin to do this, you need to understand that your intuition, your God self, and the voice of your higher self is not coming from your brain. Okay, it's not. Neither of those, all three of those, are not coming from your brain. Your inner voice comes from the center of your being, from your heart. Okay, so you have to exit the brain entirely, clear your mind, get into your heart space, and then speak. Okay, now, number one, clearing your mind. All right, because if you don't clear your mind, it's basically impossible to get a good feeling, get a good dialogue going with any type of intelligence, whether it's you, your own inner voice, or any spirit guide or higher self outside of you. Okay, so to clear my mind, basically, I sit down in meditation and I view myself as a living structure, like a living temple, like an actual house, like a house of a sacred space. So in this house, basically, you want to close the doors, you want to close the windows, you want to close any openings, the gateways, you want to close the passageways, anywhere that could be open, that any type of unwanted thought forms, energy forms, or frequencies can get through. So it's like you just visualize you closing the windows and doors of your mind. All right, firstly, this helps tremendously. All right, this is what I tell my clients. This is what I tell people who ask me how to clear your mind. All right, this is what you do. Basically, just do that. Like a little visualization when you sit down and make the intention to connect with your spirit guides. All right, now this works. After that, it's basically total silence. Get used to total silence. All right, set yourself in a pillar of light, like an infinite pillar of light. And in this pillar of light, you exist as your I am presence in the center. And then on your left side, you have your angels on the light side. Then on your right side, you have your angels on the night side, on the shadow side. All right. So when you're speaking to anybody who you would like to call into your sacred space, it's like talking to anybody. You have to speak, then you have to stop speaking and listen for a response. All right. And then you respond to whatever you hear. Okay. It's like talking on the phone or literally talking to somebody who's in the same room as you. All right. You speak. All right. Start with your left. Speak. Listen. And then speak. Okay. So it's simple, And don't be surprised if you get a response instantly like that. Like legitimately, like right after you stop speaking, you get a response right back because you're dealing with supernatural beings. All right. These people are going to outclock you on every given level of existence. All right, they're capable of clocking anybody, anywhere, any period of time on the entire Earth plane because they're God beings. So when you get a response, you can either set your own pace or you can expect it to be like instant. All right, it depends how good you are at it. Starting off, okay. So speak from your heart. All right, when you're doing this, speak from your heart, lean to the left, speak with your heart through your throat chakra. All right, and you also have to understand and discern that difference. You have to understand your inner voice when you are just vibing and speaking to yourself. You can speak to yourself without words, or you can project your inner voice from your throat chakra and speak to your guides. All right, or speak to anybody outside your space. Okay, that's how it works. That's literally how it works. All right, so you need to understand that difference as well. All right, so what a lot of people also don't talk about is the different levels of spirit guides. You only always hear about like spirit guides, like on the angelic realm, on the levels of the light side. You can also bring in spirit guides on the dark realms. Okay. Now, before I go further on this, all right, before you do anything like that, make sure you have a good connection with your own spirit guides, like based off of your own higher selves, because your spirit guides are only supposed to be like the associates of your higher self, okay? My spirit council, I basically have a good, solid connection with my highest version of self, which is the Lyrian version of self. Every person has one. Basically, they are the groundkeepers. They're the universal template designers of the entire universe for the actual dimension. All right, get in contact with that higher self, form a relationship with that higher self, then ask their counsel to step down as your personal spirit guides, and then also do that for your right side, for your shadow side. Okay, because your right side spirit guides, all right, they also have strengths too. Like, you have your left side who is just basically, when you're talking to your spirit guides, basically what they're going to say is, what they love to say is, you chose this, you're here, do your work now. Like literally get on your path, do the stuff you're supposed to do, stop complaining because it's time for you to grow up. All right, which is literal, which is true. Okay. And basically, that's how they work because they make the rules. All right. So basically what your left side guides are going to talk about is your dharma, what you're supposed to be doing on the path here at this time on planet Earth, your highest intent, what's best for you and others around you in their highest good for the highest timeline of all. And, more or less those things on that path. All right, now your guides on your right side, okay, they're still good because they're still for the best of all. All right, because you bring them in from your high council, your high Lyran council, and basically when I talk to my guides on my right side, basically this is what they say. Like this is what they advise me on, or when they chime in, like during the day or whatever, when I'm doing stuff. It's usually about karma. It's usually about cause and effect, and it's usually about the give and take of energy, like money and energy exchange. Okay, because it's the entire universe is polarized. There's light and there's dark. Okay, and within that interweaving of polarities, you get creation. All right. So the way I view my guides is basically me sitting in a coliseum. All right, and then they have stadium seats. Like there's 3 here and there's 3 here, like basically a couple stories above me, okay? Because when your third eye activates, at least when mine did, basically, it didn't stay activated, but when it does, you basically see yourself in a coliseum setting type structure, and then you see your higher selves basically like going off in their own realities up into infinity, off into the sky. So basically what I did is just sit these guides directly near me so I can basically hear their input on whatever I need them to help me out with. Okay? Your guides on the right side are very high powered. Basically, when I look at my spirit guides with my mind's eye, basically what I see are just tall hooded figures, and the hood so low that you can't really see their face. But like, you can ask them to basically take the hood off, and basically what I see is a humanoid lion on each side. Like a night side, like panther on my right side, and left side, like a light side white lion. So basically, you get the upgrades, and these upgrades, like I wasn't even expecting like this type of thing to happen. But I guess just because how high powered that these beings are, just having them around me like at any period of time during the day, basically what I found was that like you're able to keep a ring around you and your territory. Okay, I've talked about in my past video about how to actually like spin a vortex around your actual territory to actually help clear that space, off and out of the fourth dimensional veil of illusion, the net of control, and how the powers that have been on the planet have been controlling everybody. So when you bring in these both side polarities, you can also like keep a 60-foot ring around your vessel. All right, and if you can get into your heart space deep enough, you can learn to see with your heart. And you ever seen that movie Superman, Man of Steel, when he's basically able to holographically scan areas? Or Justice League, that movie clip where he basically like I didn't see the movie, I just saw a clip. He basically was like scanning, like you're able to scan through walls, you're able to scan through people, you're able to scan through people's skulls, you're able to scan through any area of the environment, because everything is only made of light. Everything is entirely holographic. Okay, hence the term holographic. Okay, so with these guides around you, you become so much more powerful. And if you're able to actually stay in your integrity and learn how to see with your heart, and you could turn this on and actually see through walls. Like if you're actually into energy training and you push your energy, and you're able to actually keep that output, cycling throughout your own toroidal field, in your own filter of your own energy. Now, when you have a ring spinning around you at all times, that also enhances your overall awareness of your own personal energy field. So you can always feel what's going on around you. You can always feel what type of beings are around you. This goes very well and is very helpful for maintaining your own personal space in the physical. All right, say a place like your house. All right, you want to make sure that place is locked down all the time. All right, because when you begin to awaken, you always need some type of 0 point where your energy is going to be clear no matter what. Okay, which is why I had stressed the fact of why you need to understand the dimension of space, like the dimension of space as fluid, okay, which is what I talked about in that video, how to clear any space, because when you get that omnipresence awareness of space itself, you become space itself, and then you're able to tune into any place. Okay, I like to talk about, crazy upgrades like getting holographic sight, or spinning rings across entire fields as far as the eye can see. Okay, but like, even though this stuff is actual and I can actually do this stuff, like literally, like when my energy is correct and it's totally in tune, the benefits that come off of just understanding how to do that, when you are in the right alignment, are monumental. Because just because I learned how to do that stuff, I now can actually tune into any space anywhere in the universe. Literally, because I know the dimension of space, I can literally take my mind's eye and go and see what any of my higher selves are doing at any period of time during any second of the day. All right. And it's funny because, like, you only hear people talk about their spirit guides. Like, what my guides saying? What my guides want me to know? Like, am I a star seed? Like what is this holographic Earth realm? Is this a simulation? Like, of course it's a simulation. All right. Like, come on. Like, of course. Like, anyways, it's funny though, because like you are able to actually like look at your higher selves, be like, what are you doing? Like, oh, that's cool. Like, oh no, you shouldn't be doing that. Like, come on, like we're ascending now. Like literally, I look at my 6th dimensional higher version of self. He's like a blood elf, okay? And what I get, like the visual interpretation of him is like the dude Baraka from Mortal Kombat. Like, 6th dimension is the shadow realm, so there's a whole lot of crazy shit that happens in the shadow realm. It's like a dimension where it's permanently night, like nighttime in the jungle, like, and in space. Like, it's crazy. Alright, so that's what he looks like. I'll give you a little visual. And I zoom in on him. He's like eating like a dead animal, and like dude, it's like blood all over him. Like, come on, bro. Like, can't be doing that, man. Right? And basically, like, and it's totally completely different. Like, for the other end of the spectrum, like, I'll tune in on my 9th dimensional self. Alright, basically, like, total awesome omnipresent being. Like, he's basically he's like a Nordic angelic, and he's basically like in charge of like the Galactic Marine Corps of angels. Like, totally just like awesomeness, like galactic awesomeness. Like, basically like Achilles, but like a galactic angelic general, right? So I tune in on him, like, what's going on? Like, what's up? He's like, you know what it is, man. Like, I'm always here. Like, what do you need? And it's totally awesome. Like, these are the types of things that you get to learn and you get to experience when you actually step into your power and you actually do the stuff that, like, you hear about people talk about on YouTube videos, and then you start to actually learn for yourself and actually like catalog your own experience and take what you learn and apply it and compound that. So if you guys would like a session, I do sessions at quantumlight.net. I do healing, I do intuitive coaching, I do numerology readings. Soon I'm going to be doing archetype researching and like sketching. If you guys would like to see like what your archetype looks like, just send me your name and birth date, and I'll be able to research your archetype and give you like a good sketch. There's like a huge bird just flying. Alright. And give you like a good sketch of, based off like, who you are on a soul level, at least what your archetype is, a good rendition of that energy. So stay tuned for that. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace and love.